o'clock, and we'll call the meeting of the Chaves County Board of Commissioners to order. We would like to have the Pledge of Allegiance and the pledge to the New Mexico flag, and we're going to ask Adriana Vigil if she would come forward and lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance.
I salute the flag of the state of New Mexico, the symbol of perfect friendships among united cultures.
Thank you. Dara, would you lead us in prayer, please?
Yes, would y'all go with me in prayer? Heavenly Father, thank you so much for today. Thank you so much for this beautiful land, for the sunshine. Yes, the rain. I know it brings weed, but it brings lots of beautiful things to our land. Heavenly Father, we just ask you for open ears to listen, to open hearts to love. And thank you for our law enforcement, our military. Lord, we just thank you so much. And to God be the glory. Amen.
Amen.
Cindy, do we have a quorum?
Good morning, Mr. Chairman. Yes, you do.
First item is approval of today's agenda. Do we have a motion to approve the agenda?
Mr. Chairman, I move we approve the agenda.
I second it.
We have a motion to approve and a second the agenda. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? The motion passes. Do we have a motion to approve the minutes?
Mr. Chairman, I move we approve the minutes from July 24th, 2025.
I second that.
We have a motion and a second to approve the minutes. All in favor?
Aye.
Motion passes 5-0.
Mr. Chairman, Commissioners, it's a great honor this morning to have a proclamation for a young lady who's done some wonderful things for our state and for our community. And this is proclamation for Adrienne Vigil Day. Whereas Adrienne Vigil is an impressive role model who has made important contributions to Chaves County and New Mexico, and whereas, upon realizing the state of New Mexico had no formal procedure for retirement of New Mexico state flags described in statute, Ms. Vigil set out to correct that oversight, and whereas New Mexico House Bill 468 established the manner of retiring a New Mexico state flag was enacted on June 20th, 25 as a state law, and whereas Adrienne's bold actions to correct the statutory omission for the people of our state showed her love for the state of New Mexico as well as for the custom and heritage of our communities. And whereas her contributions as a youth in Chaves County do not end with House Bill 468, as Adrienne is also an exceptional student at Goddard High School, active in Girl Scout Troop 18044, having been awarded the prestigious Gold Award, and a member of the Charlie's Angels dance team. And whereas her hard work and dedication in serving the citizens of New Mexico have created a lasting example and encouragement to do what is needed, no matter how difficult for those who follow behind her. And whereas the exemplary actions of Adrienne Vigil brought accolades to our community, our state, and our nation. Now therefore, the Chaves County Board of Commissioners do hereby proclaim August 21st, 2025 as Adrienne Vigil Day in Chaves County, done this 21st day of August 2025 by the Board of Chaves County Commissioners. Please come forward.
She's going to give a speech too, right?
Thank you so much.
Would you like a picture with your grandmother in it as well? Yes. That'd be great. I know she's been a role model for you as well as other people in our community, and we want to recognize her as well.
She goes to Roswell High.
Thank you so much. You're welcome. Thank you. Yes, I'm curious.
Mr. Chairman, Commissioners, you've noticed that there's a New Mexico flag sitting out here in front of the dais. That's been signed by the governor, several state legislators, and other people who were at the ceremony when Ms. Vigil was awarded something from the state, and they would like everyone to put their signature on that flag after the meeting, and that includes the people in the gallery are welcome to sign the flag. So just wanted to offer that up for everyone. Thank you.
Thank you. Presentations, Commissioner.
Yes, sir. Today we are fortunate to have the officers of the Hagerman FFA along with their advisor, Alan Parker. And would y'all like to come up and?
Good evening, Chaves County Commissioners, individuals in their gallery today. It's my pleasure to introduce part of my officer team, my chapter president, Grady Moss, secretary, Amber Rains, reporter, Camden Price, and sentinel, Kylie Stearns. They have a little bit of something they would like to share.
Good morning. On behalf of the Hagerman FFA chapter, it is my honor to recognize a community leader who has gone above and beyond to support our chapter. Mr. Bill Williams has shown outstanding dedication to the Hagerman FFA chapter by helping secure recognition of our 95th anniversary at the county level.
As secretary, I know the importance of keeping records and honoring history. Thanks to Mr. Williams' efforts, the Chaves County Commission issued a declaration on November 12, 2024, officially celebrating 95 years of Hagerman FFA. His work ensures that our chapter's history will be remembered and celebrated for years to come.
As reporter, my role is to share the story of Hagerman FFA and with others. Mr. Williams' commitment has helped shine a spotlight on our chapter legacy and contributions. By securing this declaration, he made sure our story was told not only within Hagerman, but across Chaves County.
As Sentinel, I welcome and protect the values of our organization. Today we welcome Mr. Williams into our FFA family in a new way, by presenting him with the honorary Hagerman FFA Award. His dedication reflects the spirit of brotherhood, honor, and support that makes our chapter strong.
As an advisor, I want to thank you on behalf of our school district, Cliff Wade, for inviting us out. Truly an honor to be able to receive a proclamation. It hangs up in the ag room and allows students to look at each day. As you guys know, celebrating 95 years takes a lot. Hagerman FFA is the 6th chapter in the state of New Mexico. We were founded in November 12, 1929, and we're still holding strong as one of the few chapters that has not been rechartered or certified as an agriculture education program. As many of you who've been part of the agriculture education, part of Hagerman, we first want to thank you and honor the support you guys have given to us. Thank you.
Mr. Williams, thank you for your dedication, your support, and for helping us celebrate 95 years of Hagerman FFA.
Thank you.
Since it's done, Tommy just kind of goes.
Now you two tall guys are in the middle.
Y'all are welcome anytime too. It really looks good seeing y'all out there. That's right, yeah.
I don't know. This is civics. This is civics class.
Mr. Chairman, Commissioner Wade, others, I had no idea this was coming. I wouldn't have been out there when this happened if I had. But before y'all leave, I just want to say one thing real quick, and each of y'all know exactly what I'm saying. I believe in the future of farming, with a faith born not of words, but of deeds. So, thank y'all. That's the opening line of the FFA Creed when Commissioner Wade and Commissioner Korn and all of us went to school. I know it's changed slightly since then. I believe now it's, I believe in the future of agriculture with a faith born not of words but of deeds. Achievements won by present and past generations of agriculturalists in the promise of better days through better ways, even as the better things we now enjoy have come to us through the struggles of former years. I know each of y'all had to learn that, and I'm almost 63 years old, and I still remember all of that. So live it. Thank you.
Presentations, we'll have, yes.
Good morning, Commissioners. So a quick update on our ag position. So our ag position is still open. They have elected to extend that for another month in hopes that we get some new applicants. So that is open. If anybody is interested in agriculture, we do encourage the community to apply and be part of the team. We are continuing with the ag programs, however, so we will have gardening at the library. On September the 20th, our master gardeners will be out there to answer all things gardening as we head into the fall and the winter. They're also giving away free seeds that day at the library. So come by and see them and visit with them. We will have a winter and herb gardening class on September the 4th at 5:30. We have conned Drew into coming back for one more presentation for us. We have the great pleasure of sending about 320 indoor entries up to the state fair for our kiddos from county fair. Our annual Christmas showcase is coming up in November, and tickets go on sale for that one on September 1st as well. And then they can catch us at the Dragonfly Festival in addition to our mental health classes that are around town this next month. And I will let Katie do all things 4-H.
Good morning, Commissioners. This is my slowest month of the year, so I don't have a whole lot for you, but I'm enjoying it and resting for another crazy season coming up. So we are between County Fair and State Fair. County Fair was absolutely wonderful. We have a community that shows up and shows out. And I'm sure that's not news to you, but it's so impressive, especially coming from a smaller county to Chaves County. It was huge. It was wonderful. There was so much love and support for these kids. So I, of course, thank you and our community for that. We will head up to State Fair with all of those wonderful indoor exhibits, but also with some livestock. So we'll have some youth showing there. And then we'll get geared up for Eastern Fair with more indoor exhibits, more livestock, and the ice cream parlor. So start holding back on your ice cream so you can come eat as much as possible. That is our biggest fundraiser for the Chaves County 4-H fund. So please, please come out, eat some ice cream, support all the good things. I believe that's all I have for you for right now. Always thank you for your support, and we appreciate you.
Thank you all.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Do we have any other presentations this morning? I don't think Economic Development and Chamber aren't here, so. If no other presentations, we will get into our agenda items. And agenda item number 1.
Good morning, Chairman, Commissioners. Item number 1 is a public hearing for case Z 2025-04, a special use permit for utility solar, scale solar project, data center and battery energy storage system facility in Area 1, Zone A, Agriculture. Zenith Volt Corporation and the Berry family are proposing a 1.265 gigawatt solar facility project that would supply sufficient energy to operate their data center and a battery storage system facility, all located within this project area. Central Valley Electric is the local electric service company in this area, and they have stated they will not be able to provide any power to the facility or to the project, nor will they accept any power from the project area. The project area is approximately 8,500 acres in size, and the development plan indicates that the solar panels would be located in and around the alluvial drainage channels to the north, while the data centers and the BESS facilities would be located near Pearson Road to the south. Zenith Volt Corporation has accepted the conditions of approval, being 17 of them, that are unique to its location and the development, including improving Natchez Road and agreeing to no solar panels in the drainage channels to the north. Staff has received 1 letter of support from a neighboring owner and 2 letters of concern, but those letters were withdrawn during the P&Z Commission. They were concerns of the drainage system and Notch Road, which were addressed in the conditions of approval. The P&Z Commission recommends approval of the case Z 2025-4 with the 17 conditions of approval stated in staff's report by a vote of 4-0 based on the findings of facts 1 through 4 stated in staff's report. Upon speaking with Mr. Berry, the owner, he would like to request an 18th condition of approval. It is to permit the transfer of the special use permit, if approved, to Zenith Volts upon the sale of the property, with the restrictions and requirements stated in the 17 conditions 1 through 17A through E, as noted in staff's report. Staff recommends approval. Nick Coleman of Zenith Volts is here. Kim Wales of Zenith Volt is here to speak. And Wade Berry, the property owner, are here to speak. Thank you.
Thank you. This is a public hearing item, so at this time, anyone who would like to speak.
Would you like the proposed guy, Zenith, to talk first, or do you want them to come as before?
Okay.
Chairman, Commissioners, if I may. There are handouts that have been given to you. There was a mix-up in my staff report when I initially handed it to Jessica, and so numbers needed to be corrected. I apologize for that. But in there, you'll see the numbers that provide you an idea if the project is completed, how big it would be, how many solar panels approximately, how many data centers approximately, and how many battery storage units they may have in that area. Also, you received a handout from Zenith Volt that explains more detail of the solar panels themselves, the battery storage units themselves, and the data centers, I believe, that they are proposing.
Louis, did you say Zenith is here?
Yes.
Represent, okay. Oh, okay.
Representative
The
Zenith,
representatives,
like to make a presentation?
Thank you.
Luis,
Yes.
could I ask
Sure,
one
Nick.
question to you? On this August 1st letter from Central Valley Electric Cooperative to Zenith Volt, it says, that second paragraph, it just says, at this time, CVE is unable to deliver the required electric, but is open for further discussion, assuming additional details regarding this future power needs are provided. So they're not saying they don't want it. They're just saying at this time they can't use it. Is that right?
The amount of construction and improvements necessary to take any extra power from this facility would require a larger transfer station, a substation, and a high-powered transmission line, which is not available in that area at this time.
Mr. Chairman, Commissioner Perry, I spoke with Wade Nelson from CVE. He said that CVE would not be able to do anything without the approval of Xcel Energy and the Southwest Power Pool, because that's where they get their power from. So it's a much larger project than just CVE saying, yeah, we will or won't, or we have the infrastructure or don't. It will require some additional work with Xcel and Southwest Power Pool. Thank you.
Would the representative of Zenith please come make a presentation?
Hello, I'm Nick Coleman. Nice to meet you all.
Good morning, I'm Kim Wales. That's W-A-L-E-S, just for the record.
Thank you.
I guess pull that mic down where I can hear you a little
Please speak it right into the mic so everybody can hear, please.
Pull it down. There you go.
There you go.
Okay, do you have any questions? Okay.
What?
Let me just give you an overview of the project.
Yes, that'd be
Yeah.
Okay, Mike, I'll have a couple questions.
Okay.
Going forward with this project, the solar farm is one element. Once that is established, then my understanding, you want to build a data center.
Yeah, well,
The purpose of the solar farm is to provide the power for the data center, is that correct?
Yes.
Okay, do we have a plan established on creating this, and what is the financing? Do you have backers, financial backers from, and what is the potential cost of building this entire project?
Right. It's, yeah, it's all sort of done simultaneously from a perspective of, building it. And basically it's client-driven. So once we have a, the use permit for the zoning, then at that point, we bring in a client and we basically, build to suit the specifications, and that all goes to the building department for approval. So it's not like we're just random. It's going to be all engineered and structured to meet the requirements of the county. And then as far as the financing goes, yeah, we have financing available for this. But again, it's sort of just like these clients are massive. So it's sort of like a build-to-suit situation. But the opportunity is, a huge amount of work and opportunity for the county, and it's, it'd be a huge tax basis and all the benefits.
What is the cost of building the entire project?
It's between
ballpark.
Yeah, let's say it's just a range of about $6 billion. $6 billion to do it.
Okay.
Was that million or billion?
Billion.
Billion?
Yeah.
$6 billion? Wow.
Yes.
That's my first to start hearing somebody talk about $6 billion. All right.
And you have financial backers for that $6 billion?
Yes, we do. It's.
Or are you going to have to go out and solicit funds yet?
Well, we've got a bunch of reasons. The industry's alive and super strong. So the financing is available, but just with the special use permit, we can get a client. In other words, and that's not the the building permits and the permits for putting the solar in and the batteries, but it's enough to say the county, yes, they want to do this, and then we can go get a client, immediately in the next few weeks, And with that, it's the strength of that client that allows us to get the financing.
Do you, you're currently working with a private landowner to purchase the property, correct?
Yes,
And the landowner is in agreement with all this and is fine with this?
yes, he's here.
Commissioners,
Mr.
anyone
Coleman?
else have a question for him?
Yes, one of the concerns that needs to be addressed is the cooling of these data centers. How is that going to be done? Because we're in a low water area, and we'd like to conserve our natural resources.
Yeah,
And,
we're not using water, we're gonna do geothermal cooling.
okay. But using water as a fluid?
Well, there's
Or
all
glycol.
other, other friendly material, other than just water that we can use.
Okay.
So
Thank you, sir.
we know we did the whole plan based on not having any water. So the only water that we're gonna have is for drinking and stuff like that.
And dust suppression during construction, more than likely.
Sorry?
And dust suppression during construction, I would assume, because there would be a lot of dust in the air during construction. So,
I didn't quite hear what you're saying, I'm sorry.
dust suppression during construction? How are you, were you gonna, have you already made arrangements for water for that need, or?
Yeah.
Commissioners, Wade Berry, I'm one of the landowners. I'm working with Zenith Volts to help them. We're going to contact local farmers. We've already talked to neighbors that have stacked water that will be used for just the construction. And so we've actually have plans on Natchez Road, put a pipeline underneath it so they won't actually have to leave the facility to go get water. It will be on there so it won't increase on the traffic around.
So being that you have stacked water, have you applied for a permit through the state engineer's office, or?
It's not my water, it's the neighbors. It's the neighbor farmer.
But will they be able to
Yes.
provide water?
Yes, yes.
Under a permit through the state engineer's office?
Yes, sir.
So it would have to be a commercial use permit to go to
Yes, sir.
something like this.
Yeah, they'll
There will
lose their
be-
3.5 down to 2. And
Huh?
they'll leave their 3.5 acre, it'll go down to 2 acre feet, and then they'll be able to sell it commercially, but they'll have to apply through the state engineer office to get that approved.
Thank you.
I appreciate you speaking to us, and I realize you're on board with this, and you mentioned a couple other neighbors. Is that a general consensus with your other neighbors? Is everybody's aware of what the project is?
Yes, sir. We've let everybody know. There's been a letter gone out to everybody. Actually, some of the absentee owners that their land is, they're still zoned agriculture, but like we're running cows on there, they're interested in actually doing that, which will bring that, because most of their taxes are $5 a year, because they have 40 acres. So this will bring the taxable amount up for the county and bring more tax revenue in as well.
Mr. Chairman, Commissioners, there was a request to do industrial revenue bonds. If we do industrial revenue bonds, that's actually a reduction of property tax would be available. I don't know if you are interested in industrial revenue bonds. I've heard it both ways from both of you. One said yes, one said no. But if they do industrial revenue bonds, that actually removes that property from the tax rolls. They do have to make the schools whole, but it will not be at taxable value for 30 years. Or the term of the bonds could be 30 years, let me put it that way.
Your company, Volt, how many projects like this data centers have you built in the past? What's your experience in building a
Okay,
data
well,
center?
Yeah, we're, the companies that we have on our team are currently building data centers. So we have several companies that we work with, and we're basically, once we go through this process, we'll pick out the best one, and that's what they do. They build data centers. So we'll be in cahoots with them.
Okay.
So you said that this is a lease at the beginning, or a 5-year lease, or?
No, sir. completion of this, the land will be sold and then will be transferred to Zenith Volts.
And the completion would be how many years in advance? I mean, how
Well,
many?
once the permit can go out, we can get a tenant for that, funding comes in, then construction will start after we sell the land to Zenith Volts.
So on the special use permit, we're talking about 8,500 acres, right?
Correct, yes, sir.
I believe that, and this is me speaking out of, on a special use permit, you know, we give those out to whoever, but we're talking about 8,500 acres. And in my opinion, and this is just my opinion, when you start proceeding on the project, whether it's 10 acres or 5 acres, and you're saying it's going to take 5 years or 7 years or whatever until the project's completed, until the land is transferred over. A special use permit, in my opinion, should be limited to X amount of acres, not 8,500 acres.
Well, one of the reasons that it's 8,500, as I talked about the alluvial drainages, we're not going to be able to put panels on the entire thing. We have Walnut Draw goes right through the middle of it, all the tributaries that feed into Walnut. So it's not completely covered out there because you're going to have to leave for drainage in case, you know, some of our rainstorms that we get 8 inches, you know, like you don't want panels floating down the river down there. So it's because of the size of the area, but there's a lot of drainages, and there's areas like one of the neighbors, we removed about 300 acres of panels because we didn't want to remove some mesquite that is actually blocking their house for when it does flood, and it doesn't flood them out.
Well, and I understand your point there. Of course, they're basically saying there's going to be minimal ground disturbance. Any solar farm that I've seen, there is a lot of ground disturbance, and there will be a lot of tumbleweeds and dirt going here, and you need water over there, and as far as the local farmer or some farmers providing water for this type of deal is probably not. I mean, we're basically saying we're kind of like in the oil patch, and okay, he's blading the road down to Timbuktu. We're talking about 13 sections.
Well,
and we're going to have water.
As far as the panels are drove on a pylon and everything's built above. I asked the contractor, he came and looked at the area, one of the main contractors that we're going to use, and I asked him about slicking the area off, you know, bringing in a dozer or a blade, but he said, no, it costs too much. They'll come in, set a pylon, everything's built above. So most they'll take down is maybe a big mesquite that's going to be in the way. They might cut it out of the way. Now, as far as a data center, you know, that's just normal construction because you're going to have to dig out, you're going to have to bring in your engineered fill to build. But as far as the solar panels themselves, they're going to come in, drive the pylon in, build everything above it, and go to the next one. And we don't want the vegetation removed.
So is there a lot of rocky terrain there?
No, some of the north is a little bit sloped, maybe a 2 to 3 degree slope, but not very much. Most of it in the front is pretty flat. Actually, our contractor said this is as flat as he's ever done. He does a lot of stuff in Hawaii on the sides of hills, and this is relatively flat ground out there.
I mean, I've got a lot of questions. I don't know. We're going to sit here for. Property values. How can you, who is your adjacent neighbors?
Multiples. The Nelsons are to the south, and their farm, Dwight Menifee, or Menifee Farms, is to our southeast. Once you go down the east side, the Jackson family, and then there's a lot of uncontrolled that goes up through there, Masonic Lodge, SKS. When you get on the north side, it's BLM and State. Then on the west side, it's Mr. Robson and Conklin's and Mr. Brownfield. And then on the south side is more Conklin's.
So have you, I see most of this is all private, right?
Yes, sir. Everything that we're
And
doing
there-
is private.
and-
Where
and-
we've left some of these areas is where the state land and the BLM. So everything that we're doing is all the private that all touches itself. That's what makes it appealing to the company is, we have the private land and
So
not
all of
having to deal as much with the BLM, which we may, because there's sections of BLM out there, and I don't know if they'll be willing to do it, but try to talk to them to see if we can't add that in there to make it where there's a little bit easier. But I don't think the BLM will do it, or the state land office.
So are your neighbors in favor?
Mr. Chairman, Commissioners, let's wait and do those in favor and those against as a part of the proceedings to
Right.
make sure that we do it properly. So let's let the people come forward with those for, those against, so that we follow our procedure, please. I mean, we can kind of get into that a little more at that time.
Yeah, let's get
Okay.
the others to speak. Okay. Thank you all. Okay, this, as a public hearing, we'll now ask anyone that would like to speak in favor of this zoning ordinance, please come forward. This is speaking in favor of it.
Gentlemen, Chairman, this is Colin Robson. We own the property to the west of what this development will be. We've never been contacted by Zenith or the Berries about the proposal. The first I heard of it was from a neighbor, Mrs. Hartley, and she gave me a map.
Mr. Chairman, Mr. Robson, are you in favor or
Or
against? Because we're doing in favor
This is one
currently.
to support it.
And so if you're in support of it, go ahead and continue, but you also need to say your name and address before you start as
Okay.
well. If you're against, hold on just a minute, we'll get to you.
I'll sit down for a minute.
Thank you, sir. Sorry.
Okay. Anyone speaking in favor of this motion? Anyone speaking in favor of this motion? For third and final time, anyone speaking in favor of this motion? Okay, now anyone who would like to speak against it, please come forward. Mr. Robinson?
And please state your name and address for the record. Thank you.
Thanks for the exercise, I need it. Colin Robson. And
Address, please.
Address, 431 West Walnut Draw, Lake Arthur. We are neighbors of the Berries. And like I said, I have had no formal contact at all about the proposal. I'm not totally against it, and I'm not totally for it. I'd just like more transparency and a bit more information about what's going to go on in, because this is our neck of the woods. This is what hopefully our kids will be seeing every day for the next 100 years or more. I understand it's their property. They can do whatever they want on their property as long as it isn't too detrimental to our property. I have a map that outlines, it's just highlighted adjacent to my property, and I'd like to know what is the intent for that piece of property. Apart from that, it sounds like the data centers is going to be quite a ways from us, but there is highlighted property which borders mine, and I'd like to know what's going on there. Also, the effect of a hailstorm, we all know we used to get lots of them back 10 years ago. What's that going to do to a solar panel? And that's going to get washed down into the stream, into the aquifer, because the aquifer is what this valley is dependent on. If we mess it up, we're done. So I'd like to just know what precautions there are in effect to look after that. anything about EMFs, solar for cancer? Has any studies been done on that? 8,000 acres is a lot of ground. And I know they said they're not going to put it all into production, but going off some paperwork, they're saying 6,000 acres of solar panels. How's that going to affect the wildlife, the temperature, the weather? Because we all know, being farming, that's weather is critical to us. So I'd just like a little bit more information before we decide yay or nay. Thank you.
Thank you.
Mr. Robinson, can I ask a question?
Go ahead.
But I don't know if we're looking at the same map. I'm looking at one on page 32, but if I remember correctly, you had a road closure a couple of years ago that you proposed, correct?
Yes.
And that goes down to those farms in the draw.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so that's probably in the corner of section 23, the northwest corner of section 23.
That's it, yes.
Okay, so we're talking a mile to 2 miles east of you.
Well,
Or from the farm.
not on this one.
So where, do you own land in section?
I
24?
own 11, 14, 23. And highlighted is 11, 13, and 24. So what's this one? And that's what my concern is, because this is what my neighbor was sent. These ones.
No, that's, so it's the blue, yeah, I don't know why that's there. I don't know why. It should be. So it's coming down and then the road goes right there.
So see, that white one's that one. Yeah. So are these perspectives too? Okay. Okay.
He might be in agreement.
Well, going off the new map, this one was sent out by Chaves County. They're saying they have no plan for doing anything on the white ones. So I don't know what to say, guys. It's just all a bit up in the air, and I'm just a bit concerned if these ones are going to be included at a later date. So, thank you.
Thank you.
Mr. Chairman, they're going to try to put that map up on the screen so we can all see what everyone's talking about. Next time we'll be prepared with maps for the screen. Thank you.
Chairman, Commissioners, addressing his concern, any changes to the size or additional property owners added to this special use will still have to come back before you. There will be no surprises in this manner. If the size of the project increases, where you see the yellow areas that are prospective owners that are willing to sell their property to Zenith or Mr. Berry because they're interested in the project, that would come back before you to include those areas. And you'll notice that there's a large section in the middle that is state of New Mexico.
Can you show us where Mr. Robson's property is on that,
Mr.
since that's
Robinson's
what the
property
question is?
are the green fields over to the left of the north arrow. Yes, those.
probably comes right in line with the end for the north.
Okay.
And on my map, they have had it highlighted on 2 sections touching our property. So I don't know why there's a discrepancy in the map.
So that is why he did not receive a public notice. We notify those property owners within 600 feet of the project area. He is greater than 600 feet from there.
So, Louis, just for my mind, just look at that state section right there in the middle. 285 is east of that, correct?
Correct. It's approximately a mile and a half east.
East of that middle section?
Yes.
Where's 285 on this map, or is it, go ahead?
It's 5 miles.
5 miles, okay. Okay.
This is almost at the end of Pearson Road.
And Mr. Robinson's property line is about the east edge of section 24. Is that correct, what he's saying? Yeah, right there.
No. Well, I'll let him speak. because he'll explain better than I can.
Our property line's probably right in line with the M on 20, just to the west of section 24, 13, and 12, which are on the map.
To the
And I
west.
can bring you their map, but like I say, these guys know more than I about why this was on Chaves County's map.
Okay.
So these were the sections that were highlighted that was given to my neighbor. And that's our property line there. And that's my concern.
Who has this right here?
I don't know, I've got to look that up. Maybe state land. Maybe state land. Yeah.
So this is what you're seeing in blue, or outlined in black. The white ones here highlighted came from Chaves County to my neighbor, and she gave me this.
This is this right here.
That's BLM.
This is all BLM.
Yes, sir. That's BLM. Well, I'm looking right here. This is his property. That's this property.
That's this.
Yeah, so he's got this private.
What I outlined in black is me, and then I go further west.
What is this blue supposed to be?
That's what it is.
Whose map this is?
This was what you guys sent out.
That's Luis's map.
Louis, can you come explain what the blue part is on what you sent out and why it doesn't match what's there, please?
The blue is the ranches, the different ranch areas that they own based on the names. Yeah.
That who owns?
The Berry family owned. They own the properties that you see on the black outline in 3 different names.
Okay, I got it right here.
They are under, and so as the assessor goes through and clicks on those parcels based on the name,
This is his.
the tax name, they come up this way. And then, as some of you know, if you own property under different names,
Right.
it's not all tied together under the assessor's
So,
records.
so this BLM lease, is that yours? To your east?
And somebody put a microphone over there so that people online can hear what everyone's saying, please.
11, 14, and 13 are mine, 23 are mine. So 11 is BLM, 14 and 23 private.
Mr. Berry, do you have BLM lease?
Yes, we have some BLM.
To your east?
Do we need to table this till he gets his stuff in order?
That's a 160.
Because he's got it.
Yeah, because,
Because we're not doing that.
is that that's yours right there, right?
That's his land, right?
Yes, sir. So, yeah.
And that's what we're talking about, so this map isn't even correct?
But that's not included in.
A point,
Mr. Chairman, Commissioners, would everyone hold on just a minute? I believe because the county has failed to do their due diligence, we have so much confusion here. I don't feel, and of course, it's your decision, I don't see that you guys can make a proper decision because we don't have the correct information here. I apologize, but I would ask that you guys consider possibly hearing this at another date until we get the county's stuff in line. I apologize again that we missed the mark on this, I believe. Excuse me.
Chairman, Commissioners, the information we provided you is the same information we provided to the Planning and Zoning Department. It's the same packet. The information we sent to the property owners highlighted the different project name or the area based on the project names, the property owner names, I'm sorry, which is Lazy Rocking Lazy Bee, and Rick Berry. Those were the 3 property owners. When we create these maps, we have to put them all together and get that going. We did notify the property owners within 600 feet as required by law. The project area has not changed from the initial application, so it is still the same. Why that area is highlighted is that's the maps we received from the assessors. Why it has white on it, I don't know. But it's only the blue areas. And that was what was notified to the adjoining property owners.
Mr. Chairman, the white areas are shown that Mr. Robson was referring to are owned by the property owners, but are not included in this project.
In the boundary.
No,
Correct?
Yeah.
Okay.
Perfect.
So I think that was
some
the
clarity.
confusion that Mr. Robson had, but it is not going to border you right there. There'll be that buffer,
That is the buffer that they have established.
BLM, and that private land will not be used. Does that address that concern? I'm sorry.
Yes, sir.
Yes, that does. And I'm sorry I wasn't here at the Planning and Zoning Commission because we did not know about this until the day prior and I was out of town. If this is in writing, that is only going to be the blue section, we are fine with it and we will not object. If there's any discrepancy that the white will be enclosed in this parcel, I'd like some more diligence done into this. But if it's just blue, we're good and we will not complain. Okay. Thank you, gentlemen. And lady.
Anyone else against?
Yeah, Commissioners, I'll address that. Would that white part is not included in there. That is not a thing. Everything that's in blue that is already in the plan, that's all that is included in this right now. We're not looking at that for even expansion later, so.
Commissioners,
Anyone else against? You need to ask if there's anyone else against.
is there anyone else that would like to speak against this project? Anyone else that'd like to speak against this project?
And nothing online for or against?
Anything online?
No.
Okay.
All right, sorry.
Mr. Chairman, I do have a few questions. Would you bring that map back up? Is this a correct map or not? That we had up here? Do we know? It is a correct map. Mr. Chairman, Lewis, that Pearson Road that's right there, they're coming in off of Pearson when they do the construction. Is that correct?
Chairman, Commissioners, that would be correct. That is the only accessible road.
Right.
to
And
this
Pearson is county road?
Yes.
Okay, so when, it's state? Okay, so state will have to maintain this, is that correct? When they start bringing in construction?
Yes.
Yes? Okay. Does state have to be notified that there's going to be a lot of construction? Because we do have in our packet something about a county road and maintaining it. They're going to widen it. Which road are we talking about? Do we know?
Notches.
Notches is, it is the west part of the black line right off of
Okay.
Pearson, nearest to P and Pearson, where
Which is
that
ours,
pivot is.
which
That
is county.
That
Okay.
is still questionable if it's county or ours.
Okay,
But they are willing to improve it to county standards of 28 feet wide.
okay,
Including drainage, so that those farms and those houses on Natchez are not affected by the construction.
okay.
And they are to improve it, maintain it,
Maintain
and then leave it at 28 feet.
Okay.
Is that in the conditions and findings of
That
facts?
is in
Okay.
a
Okay.
condition of approval.
So they'll be coming off of Pearson, then they'll go be, all this construction as they're coming in. They're bringing in solar panels, all this other construction stuff off of Pearson onto that other, so they'll be coming in and out. And like you said, there will be dirt and stuff, there always is in construction.
Yes, Chairman, Commissioners, there is going to be dust and construction when
Okay.
they start dealing with the data centers
Right.
and the best centers, because
Right.
those best centers have to have a hard pack. We want more of a concrete foundation on
Right.
those to control any kind of waste that may come off of them in case there is a fire.
Right, okay,
And there will be required firefighting equipment on that
Right.
site. That they are they being Zenith Volts, are required to provide the training and all of the necessary chemicals or supplies to fight any fire that may
Right.
occur on this facility and get it under control right away.
Right, okay. I guess I have a question for Wade. Wade, can you answer a couple of questions? You're asking to transfer the special use program permit to, if the property is sold to Zenith. My understanding is you're going to sell the property to Zenith.
Correct, yes, ma'am.
When will that take place?
When the funding will come through, issuance of the special permit, then the funding comes through, then before construction starts, then we'll have everything transferred over.
Okay. So you're asking, you as the property owner are asking for the special use permit.
Correct.
Why don't we wait until the funding comes through and then they
Because right now with
become?
the funding, to get somebody for the data center, we have to have the special use permit. Right now, you can't, you can't sell anybody on something that you can't build, so we don't know if it'll go through, so that's a contingent on it.
So if you get the special use permit under your name and then Zenith gets the funding, I mean, this is all speculation.
Yes, ma'am.
Is my understanding.
Correct.
Okay, because Zenith, from what I understand from the planning and zoning, they don't even have a data center yet.
No, ma'am.
Okay, nowhere. They have a small one in California, but that one isn't even up and running
Yes,
yet.
ma'am.
Okay, so everything right now is
Contingent on the
speculation.
permit, yes, ma'am. That's what
Okay.
makes the project real. Right now, it's.
Everything is
Everything is speculative.
Speculation.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. All righty. And on this property, I'm reading, you only have just a domestic well.
Correct, one domestic well.
One
yes, ma'am.
domestic well, and that's
Yes,
it. Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
And you're not asking for any other water unless you get it from,
Yes.
and then you'll have to go
all the
back
water
to
will come
the,
from local farmers that have commercial,
The-
that have
but
applied to the state and got
they'll
commercial
have to go
rights for
to the
the
state.
construction. yes,
Okay,
ma'am.
okay. Okay, thank you. I appreciate it.
Wait, stand by one, I got a question.
Yes, sir.
So looking at a map that has land status BLM, state land, and private land, between the proposed project and Mr. Robinson is a half section of BLM and a half section of you before it gets to him.
Correct, yes, sir.
So it would be all in the interior of all the BLM, which kind of is keeping it constricted into that
Yes, sir.
pattern that we have here.
Yes, sir. That's why it's kind of a jagged and different patterns there, yes, sir.
So then he would be insulated on the west by the BLM and your other little half section.
Correct, yes, sir.
Okay. And that is more acceptable to you as an understanding?
Yes, sir.
So then you don't have opposition, or you do have opposition?
No, do not.
Well, I am happy to clear that up.
All right. Anything
Me
else?
too. And I apologize again for the
No, that's good.
confusion.
Very good.
We'll do better.
I'm kind of a Matt guy, and I get confused.
Well, some of my have problems
Mr. Chairman, I do have one more question. On your, Louis, on this conditions of approval, number one is failure to begin construction of the solar project within 2 years of this special use permit shall result in termination. So they have 2 years to start getting the construction, right?
Chairman, Commissioners, yes.
That's actual construction.
Actual
That's
construction.
actual people coming in, putting in solar panels.
Yes.
So
That is
this-
an approved building permit and
Right.
ready, and something in the ground.
Right, so they have 2 years. This special use permit will be under Wade for that 2 years?
Yes,
Okay,
yes.
so if this goes through and they get everything and they start doing construction and then he decides to sell?
Chairman, Commissioners, the condition of approval is they must construct within 2 years. The special use doesn't have a specific time limit on it itself, except for they must begin construction.
Right.
Otherwise, it is
Okay.
terminated.
Okay.
If they do fulfill that construction need, then it continues on with no time limit as per the conditions of approval.
Okay, but you're, one of the number 18 was being able to transfer it.
allowing them to
Within the
transfer
2
the
years
special
or
use.
after the 2 years?
Whatever, Chairman, Commissioners, whatever timeline you'd like to put on that.
Okay.
Mr. Chairman, Commissioners, I'd also like to add that if they seek industrial revenue bonds, the county becomes the owner of that property. So you have a whole hearing, an inducement resolution, all that stuff, not an inducement because that's with economic development, but there, that is also an unknown. So we really need a firm commitment if you're interested in industrial revenue bonds or if you're not interested in industrial revenue bonds, because that changes the entire method that the property transfers either to your individual owners or if it's held by Chaves County until the term of the bonds has been completed. So can you give us that answer? I know one of you said yes, one of you said no, so. Thank you.
You're welcome, Mr. Williams. So, Commissioner Williams, so it isn't that it's yes or no for us. What we want to do is we want to do what is best for Chaves County. So if we understand the benefit, yes, benefit to Zenith Volts, but what is the best benefit to Chaves County? And with us understanding that, that's why I didn't want to take it completely off the table. We want to be in an arrangement that's going to benefit all parties at the table, not just Zenith Volts. So we're open to understanding better what's going to be in the best interest of you all. So maybe you could guide us, in terms of what, we understand what it means, meaning if we go through the IRBs now, we get a specific tax avoidance.
Right.
However, if we do not apply for that, as the project goes online, then there is a tax that will be assessed based on the value of the project. So we understand that. So it sounds to me that that probably is.
Mr. Chairman, Commissioners, of course, I can't speak for what you guys would approve or not approve in the way of an IRB, and I can't speak for what is in the best interest of Zenith.
Mm-hmm.
But the reason IRBs exist, there's multiple levels of pros and cons. So I can't say that it would not be good for the community to endorse an IRB, and I can't say that it would be good for the community to endorse an IRB. I know that's a real weird answer,
Mm-hmm.
but the reason IRBs exist is you lower the property tax to the people that are bringing the revenue to the county. But at the same time, if you're building $6 billion worth of solar stuff, we're also not taxing that to the full taxable value. So there are limits for the county, but then if you're bringing $6 billion in and you're building business and you're providing jobs and those sorts of things, it's often in the benefit of a municipality or county or a government to work with you to get industrial revenue bonds, and it's at your benefit to avoid that tax.
Right.
But at the same time, obviously, if you want to pay full taxable value, I mean, we're good with that too. So I cannot answer that question. I can't really give you a good understanding of IRBs. It's a very complex thing, which is why we always suggest that you consult a bond counsel. There's about 5 companies that I'm aware of in the state of New Mexico that do that sort of thing, and they've always brought these forward. I know Commissioner Wade has a lot of experience on this with the town, or some experience with this, and maybe you can explain it better.
Well, what I'm thinking is it would be more, that would be a question to propose to the end user, whoever ends up with the
Who's
project.
investing, yeah.
Right now, it'd be a bit premature, but in most cases, whenever IRBs are issued, there is a payment in lieu of taxes and an arrangement made. And that would be in a separate agreement on the county.
Yes, we have to negotiate
But
that.
they really can't start their procedure get without this approval on, and then later on, they'll see what their customer wants
That's
to
correct.
do.
I just wanted everyone to be
Right.
aware that the transfer of the property is totally different, dependent upon IRBs or non-dependent. And usually, people tell us up front, this is the direction we want to go. And so, I'm just making you aware of what I know about it.
Mr.
Yes.
Chairman, can we put another provision, 19, if they go to IRBs, we open this back up again?
It would
So-
be anyway.
It would
Yeah,
open
because
it
you
back
have
up.
to, you have to
As
approve
soon
the
as
industrial
IRBs.
revenue bond
Okay.
process.
So we're back to
So-
square one
Yeah.
on that,
Yeah, and
okay.
so when we
So
spoke.
it's complex. I'm
Yeah,
very.
so we did take your advice and we spoke to Mr. Mike Esposito.
Espiritu, yes. He
Espiritu?
works for the Roswell Chaves County Economic Development, and he assists us in helping guide people to come into the community looking to help us build our communities.
Yes.
And we do that because we need to vet out any company that does any sort of business like this. And if we do that, you know, everything's wide open for everyone. It's much cleaner for them to do that on our behalf. So that's why we recommended you talk with Mr. Espiritu.
Yes, so thank you. And we did speak with him, and he advised us to speak with lawyers as well. He provided us with a few names to reach out to and advised that we would do that after this particular hearing. So, you know, all goes according to as we would like, then we would do that starting next week, reaching out to those attorneys to get further advice on how to move forward or not to move forward with the IRBs.
Bill?
Yes, sir.
A question for Bill Williams. What is our limit on industrial revenue bonds? They're talking about $6 billion. What is our, do we have a limit?
I'm not real sure what that is. It's generally a part of an entity's business plan, you know, how they intend to move forward with their project. And we don't actually fund those bonds. It's
Right.
my understanding, but I would check with legal counsel, and unfortunately, Stan was under the weather this morning, to find out whether or not there's a limit. I do not believe it affects our creditworthiness or anything, but I don't know when you're talking billions of dollars, how that's affected, because they have to find the people, your investors basically would buy those bonds to make that happen. So the money goes through the bond council and the bonds rather than maybe directly through Zenith.
Right.
So, and I'm very sorry, it's complex, and I am not an attorney, so I really just can touch on the surface of what that all entails. But I hope it's been helpful. Thank you.
You've been very helpful, thank you. I think Lewis wanted me to give you my name again, Kim Wales, W-A-L-E-S, and I represent Zenith Volts. Thank you. Were there any other questions?
Thank you. Any other questions? No other questions? Do we have a motion on this item?
Mr. Chairman, I move we approve case Z 2025-04 special use permit for utility scale project, data center, battery energy storage system facility in Area 1, Zone A, Agriculture District, subject to conditions stated, the 17 different.
18, there's 18 now.
18 conditions.
And finding the fact.
Is there a second?
I second.
Chairman, Commissioners, there are 19 conditions now. The 18th was to allow the transfer. The 19th was to consider the transfer per the IRBs.
Well, as we discussed, they're going to have to come back with that anyway. That's
Okay.
kind of a totally separate thing. So the motion, I believe, needs to be that you move in favor of this, of approving this with subject to the conditions and findings of fact. Am I correct, Mr. Wade? Yes.
Yes.
And that's 18 of them, yes.
Just 18, okay.
Yes.
Yes.
Is the motion amended and?
Yep, as such.
And I second the
Okay.
motion amended.
We do have a motion by Commissioner Wade, a second by Commissioner Perry. Is there any further discussion? Okay, Cindy, I would like to call for a roll call vote on this measure.
Commissioner Dana,
Yes.
Commissioner Wade,
Yes.
Commissioner Korn,
Yeah.
yes. Commissioner Perry,
Yes, ma'am.
And Chairman Taylor.
No.
So you
That's
have
what I
4
was gonna
yeses
say.
and 1 no.
Motion passes. Thank
Good morning, Chairman, Commissioners. You ready? Agenda item number 2 is the request to approve change order number 1 to agreement A-25-001 to RMMCI LLC in the amount of $18,109.37 for the GBOM Cultural Plaza project. Original contract sum, including GRT, was $2,400,692.34. This included the approval of alternate number 5, which was for a 30 by 70 gable structure. Change order number 1 in the amount of that $18,109.37 is for the large footings that are required for the gable structure. The $18,109.37 will be funded by an incoming state appropriation grant that has been awarded for fiscal year 26. The grant agreement is currently being executed. Staff recommends approval.
Do we have a motion?
Mr. Chairman, I move we approve to change order number 1 to agreement A-25001 to RMMCI LLC in the amount of $18,109.37 for the Cultural Plaza project.
I second.
We have a motion and a second. Any discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes 5-0.
Thank you. Agenda item number 3 is the request to approve change order number 3 to agreement A-24-028 for the construction services of the Pecos Valley Regional Communications Center renovation. The total contract sum to date, including approved change orders, is $2,866,190.71. There has been a total of 6 MCRs, which are modification change requests, but at this time, staff is asking for approval for MCR number 2, which is outlined below and is inclusive of GRT. MCR number 2 for the UPS is $33,151.33. $28,597.77 of that balance is going to be funded by New Mexico State Appropriation Number 16-Z19D154, which is applicable to MCR number 2. The remaining $4,553.56 will be county funded, and staff recommends approval.
We have a motion.
Mr. Chairman, I move we approve change order number 3 to agreement A-24-028 for construction services of the Pecos Valley Regional Communications Center renovation in the amount of $33,151.33.
I second.
Motion by Commissioner Wade and second by Commissioner Perry. Any further discussion? All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Passes 5-0.
Thank you.
Good morning, Mr. Chairman, Commissioners. This is agenda item number 4, request to approve ratification of agreement A-25-034 between Chaves County and Department of Finance and Administration for the adult detention facility security upgrades, appropriation 25-J2893. This is a capital outlay grant agreement in the amount of $200,000 to install security upgrades to the adult detention center. Staff recommends approval.
We have a motion.
Mr. Chairman, I move we approve agreement A-24-034 between Chaves County and the Department of Finance and Administration for the adult detention facility security upgrades, appropriation 25-J2893.
A second.
We have a second?
I second it.
We have a motion by Commissioner Dana and second by Commissioner Corn. Any further discussion? All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Same sign. Motion passes 5-0.
Thank you. Agenda item number 5, request to approve ratification of agreement A-25-035 between Chaves County and Department of Finance and Administration for the Cooperative Extension Service Building, appropriation 25-J2894. This is a capital outlay grant agreement in the amount of $170,000 to renovate the Cooperative Extension Service Building. Staff recommends approval.
Do we have a motion?
Mr. Chairman, I move we approve ratification of agreement A-25-035 between Chaves County and the Department of Finance and Administration for the Cooperative Extension Service Building appropriation 25-J2894.
I second.
We have a motion by Commissioner Dana, second by Commissioner Perry. Any further discussion? All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. The motion passes 5-0.
Thank you. Agenda item number 6, request to approve ratification of agreement A-25-036 between Chaves County and Department of Finance and Administration for the courthouse electrical drives upgrade, appropriation 25-J2895. This is a capital outlay grant agreement in the amount of $200,000 to install variable speed electrical drives for heating, ventilation, and air conditioning systems at the Chaves County Courthouse. Staff recommends approval.
Do we have a motion, please?
Mr. Chairman, I move we approve ratification of agreement A-25-036 between Chaves County and Department of Finance and Administration for the courthouse electrical drives upgrade, appropriation 25-J2895.
Do we have a second?
Second.
Motion by Commissioner Dana, second by Commissioner Perry. Any further discussion? All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion passes 5-0.
Thank you. Agenda item number 7, request to approve ratification of agreement A-25-037 between Chaves County and Department of Finance and Administration for the courthouse roof replace, appropriation 25-J2896. This is a capital outlay grant agreement in the amount of $530,000 to replace the roof at the Chaves County Courthouse. Staff recommends approval.
Do we have a motion, please?
Mr. Chairman, I'd like to make a motion to approve agreement A-25-037, the request to approve ratification of agreement A-25-037 between Chaves County and the Department of Finance and Administration for the courthouse road replace, appropriation 25-J2896.
We have a second.
Second, Mr. Chairman.
Motion by Commissioner Perry, second by Commissioner Dana. Any further discussion? All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Motion
you.
passes 5-0.
Agenda item 8, request to approve ratification of agreement A-25-038 between Chaves County and Department of Finance and Administration for the Cultural Plaza, appropriation 25-J2897. This is a capital outlay grant agreement in the amount of $399,999 for the construction of the Chaves County Cultural Plaza. Staff recommends approval.
We have a motion.
Mr. Chairman, I'd like to make a motion to approve agenda item 8, agreement A-25-038, the request to approve ratification agreement A-25-038 between Chaves County and the Department of Finance Administration for the Cultural Plaza appropriation 25-J2897.
I'll second that motion.
Motion by Commissioner Perry, second by Commissioner Wade. Any further discussion? All in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Motion passes 5-0.
Mr. Chairman, if I could, we don't often see Ms. Zapata here. She works behind the scenes. She works really hard to assure that we get funding for many, many of our projects, and today is just kind of a showcase of a lot of the stuff she's been doing in the background. A lot of money comes through the county and is expended properly and appropriately because of the work that Ms. Zapata does. I just wanted to point that out. Thank you.
Thank you for your hard work.
Thanks for approving those. Now I can spend the money. All right. Okay, agenda item 9 is the request to approve resolution R-25-025 revision number 21 of the Chaves County purchasing policy. As rules and regulations change from either the state procurement code, DFA, and/or staff identifying revisions that could streamline processes and procedures, staff requests revisions per revision number 21 and via resolution R-25-025. A few takeaway of the changes are as follows. Number 1, which is on page 9, section 3.6, language was to be redacted as it was unnecessary and additional to the stipulated procurement process. Number 2, page 10, section 4.1.b, out-of-state travel. This procedure is currently practiced, but it had not been identified in policy. What that one was bringing all of our employees up to request commission approval for out-of-state travel. We always practiced that procedure, but it wasn't in policy. Page 13, section 5.2.d is capital bulk asset purchases. Staff recommends setting the bulk capital asset purchase threshold to $250,000, and that was at recommendation of Lucia and Annabelle, and I think that helps their process out for fixed assets. Number 4 was supplemental A, which is to the purchasing card program. Page 4 is credit card fees are allowable with limitations. This one we've had a lot of discussions with a lot of the departments. We are struggling with a lot of merchants now adding on the credit card fee. And before we did not accept any credit card fees, so we'd had to do the purchase order process. But there are some companies that don't accept the purchase orders, or it is easier to pay for the credit card. So I've allowed that credit card fees be accepted with, I believe we put a $100 limit to those. Number 5 is the per diem rate and tips. Per diem is adjusted to the current DFA rate per 24-hour period, which is outlined in our policy. As of July 1 of 2025, DFA increased that per day to the meals to $70 per day. So I did issue a memo to get our staff to start abiding by the DFA rule. And along with that, our tips are no longer permitted. So tips were no longer permitted towards meals on a receipt, but to make it easier for staff in managing the tips and what was allowed or not is we've not allowed tips on transportation charges as well. Uber, Lyft, taxi, things like that. And staff recommends approval.
We have a motion.
Mr. Chairman, I move we approve Resolution R-25-025, revision number 21 of the Chaves County purchasing policy.
We have a second.
A second.
We have a motion by Commissioner Wade and second by Commissioner Corn. Any further discussion? All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Motion passes 5-0.
Thank you.
Good morning, Mr. Chairman and Commissioners. Agenda item number 10, Resolution R-25-040, authorizing suspending the minimum penalty requirements of the property tax code. This is a request to suspend that minimum penalty. The example we give, anything under $5 receives a minimum penalty of $5, whereas somebody who has a $100 bill would get a $1 penalty. Our property tax collection 10-year average is at a rate of 99.24%, so we just don't feel that that is necessary, and staff recommends approval.
Do we have a motion?
Mr. Chairman, I move we accept Resolution R-25-040, authorizing suspending the minimum penalty requirements of the property tax code.
I'll second that motion.
We have a motion by Commissioner Dana, second by Commissioner Wade. Any further discussion? All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Motion passes 5-0.
Mr. Chairman, Commissioners, I have a couple of requests for out-of-state travel. The first one is staff is requesting approval for out-of-state travel for the payment in lieu of taxes, or PILT, fly-in, lobbying efforts, which will be held in December in Washington, D.C. on September 9th through the 12th, 2025. Commissioners Korn and Commissioner Perry will be in attendance, and we'd ask that you'd approve them to go out of town and do great things for us.
Hold on, point of reference. We're on item number 11.
Okay. The second one, or now the first one, Bill Williams is requesting, my computer went down this morning,
Oh,
so
okay.
I didn't know which one was which. I didn't get it written on here. Bill Williams is requesting approval for out-of-state travel for the New Mexico cattle growers lobbying efforts, which will be held in Washington, D.C., tentatively during the 3rd or 4th week in September 2025. Cattle Growers has asked me to assist with some lobbying efforts, and they will foot the bill for that. I just need permission to go and represent. Thank you.
Do we have a motion?
I would like to make a motion to approve agenda item 11 for Mr. Williams requesting approval for out-of-state travel for the New Mexico cattle growers lobbying efforts in Washington, D.C., tentatively the 3rd or 4th week in September 2025.
Second, Mr. Chairman.
A motion
Thank you.
by Commissioner Perry, second by Commissioner Dana. Any further discussion? All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Thank you.
Motion passes 5-0. You can go to Washington.
All right. Mr. Smith goes to Washington. Mr. Chairman, Commissioners, agenda item number 12, I got my numbers correct now. Staff is requesting approval for out-of-state travel for the PILT fly-in lobbying efforts, which will be held in Washington, D.C. on September 9th through the 12th, 2025. Commissioners Korn and Perry will be in attendance, and this is hosted by the National Association of Counties, and they are very instrumental in helping us to assure that we get our payment in lieu of taxes from the federal government as needed. Staff recommends approval.
Do we have a motion?
Mr. Chairman, I move that we approve the request for out-of-state travel for Commissioners Korn, Perry, and Bill Williams. Is that correct?
No, it's just Commissioners Korn and Perry.
Commissioners Korn and Perry.
Yes,
Okay.
thank you.
We're just taking the heavy hitters this time.
That's right.
I'll second the motion.
Okay, we have, excuse me, motion by Commissioner Dana, second by Commissioner Wade. Any further discussion? All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Motion passes 5-0.
Thank you. You ready, Lewis?
Chairman, Commissioners, this is per Article 1, Section 5J of the Chaves County Zoning Ordinance Number 7, Revision 12, an appeal of the Chaves County Planning and Zoning Director's decision to terminate an added specific use of storage of recyclable wind turbine blades and equipment to case Z 2006-10. Mr. and Mrs. Helms are requesting that the added specific use storage of recyclable wind turbine blades and equipment remain in effect for lots 3, 4, 5, and 6 of the Helms Land Division Survey. As a summary, on July 30th of 2025, I sent Mr. and Mrs. Helms a termination letter for the added specific use storage of recyclable wind turbine blades and equipment due to the exploitation of the specific use, failure to comply with 2 stop work orders, and concerns expressed from the neighbors. This specific use was granted by me to Mrs. Dorothy Helms on January 27, 2025, as permitted per Article 13 of the Chaves County Zoning Ordinance Number 7, revision 12, which states, "A building or premise shall be used only for the following purposes as approved by the Board of County Commissioners, subject to conditions and restrictions as they may impose. The planning director may administratively approve and amend approved change, including conditions of approval, upon determining that the proposed change of use is of equal or lesser impact. Uses determined is not met, said criteria shall be subject to a change of use application and review and approval by the commission." My analysis of the regulation is that I granted the added use administratively, and it is I that must terminate the added use.
Mr. Chairman, this is not a public hearing. However, it's at your discretion if you'd like to, how you want to deal with this, just administrative questions and answers or public involvement. Thank you.
Commissioners, do we have any questions that you would like to ask of the participants?
Yes, I would. I'm concerned with allowing a specified use and then taking it away, which I relayed to Lewis on. Ms. Helms, in our conversation, either way, however you want to do that, you were talking about that you wanted to continue the use of the special use permit of storage, but of no processing of those blades on site, correct?
Correct. Constructible, I believe, destructible, sorry. You all received a letter from my other son, Jared Helms, was sent after the last meeting. When this was discussed, after I had requested that it be removed from the agenda, but it was allowed to be open for discussion during the meeting. And that was a little bit upsetting to us because we never got notice of that. I was told that it would come off the agenda, period, and then it was allowed to be open for discussion. So he wrote a letter explaining what Destructible was doing, which was they removed all the equipment. There is nothing being done out there on the wind turbines at this time. There are some pieces that were left due to transportation issues, but everything that is out there is covered. So there's basically nothing going on out there.
Do you see foresee future storage of more units there, or is
No,
this just?
We don't foresee that. They have actually moved their whole process to Amarillo, Texas, and Texas has opened up their arms and invited them there and want them there. And so they have now moved their whole process, that process at least, to Texas. So New Mexico lost again. That's all I can say.
Well, I know there was the concerns of the health issues of the particles that were airborne, and I understand that there was wind at the time too, but that we always have wind.
Right.
Out in different directions.
We're always going to have wind.
So, and I understand, well.
If you would allow us, my son Shannon is here, and there's just a couple of things that we would like to address regarding this. But yes, to reiterate, there's nothing being done out there. There are some pieces left. They have come in one time, to my knowledge, to transport some of those pieces to Midland because they have a very large 130 towers, I believe, they're taking blades off of. That's huge. It's over a $3 million project that would have been cycled through here, but that's fine. Anyway, so they took some of the blades that had been cut up over to Midland for a demonstration to use, but other than that, there's virtually nothing going on out there.
About how many blades are on site now?
There's only pieces.
There's only pieces. I'm going to say there's about 5 piles of large pieces, and then there's one pile of smaller pieces that has gone through the grinder.
Processor?
Yeah, but that pile of smaller pieces is all covered. We've got it completely covered with tarps, weighted down. I do have some smaller pieces in the shop that are in storage containers, and we will decide at a later date what to do, with all that.
If I can say too, they are operating their company, in another state. So it's kind of halted getting those pieces out of here because they're busy up there,
Okay.
if that makes sense.
I do have a question for Mr. Harmeal. Louis, if there is any further processing of those blades, it does require a special use permit, is that correct? That has not been issued, correct?
Chairman, Commissioners, that is correct. That type of use is not listed in the allowable uses in an industrial. So that would have to come back before the Board of Commissioners.
Okay. So what we're trying to decide is whether we have an appeal on the termination of the allowance to store the blades on site.
To store blades, that's
And this is all we're talking about.
That's all we're talking about right now. I
Yes.
do have all documentation on the industrial use, the code on industrial use. I do have a packet for everybody to look at. We do not have to go over all of this. I do have some documentation from the very get-go, what that property is zoned for, how many times we have changed the use on that property. It's now been changed 3 times. We've added uses to it. But none of that seems to matter. Yes, fiberglass is honestly in industrial. It's in light industrial. And it is named glass is named in light industrial.
But there will be no further processing of blades.
As of right now, we're not wanting to process blades. He's moved, he's done.
Right, but I just.
We
wanna
don't
make
want to
sure.
process the blades as of right now. If we come back and we want to process blades, then we will come back to the
For a special use
county,
permit.
and we will say, okay, this is what we have, this is what we want to do, and we will see about it at that point.
Okay.
But that will be up to,
That's up to them.
To
That's
destructible.
destructible.
Correct.
That's not us. That has,
Correct.
we're talking about the property. And the only reason I'm here representing is because she got a letter stating that criminal charges would be filed if it's not removed. And that's not fair.
If I may, so the pieces that are out there right now, is your end game to move those pieces, or?
I'll have to discuss that with them. I mean, it's up to them to move them. We're just leasing the property to them.
Yeah.
We're just the property owners. My little brother owns part of the property. So that's a discussion that we will have to have on, are they planning on recycling this, sending it to a recycle center? What is their plan on moving it? Everything out there has been cut to a dimension to where it can be hauled.
Okay.
When they moved everything and they moved all the equipment, they went directly to Amarillo to start setting up over there. They got everything set up. Immediately, they got this big contract in Midland. It's 113 windmills times 3 blades. Huge project. Now they are looking at building a total recycle center in Amarillo. So go ahead and build the entire plant, which is indoors, which does comply with air quality control, all that kind of stuff. Okay? Could have been here that fast, but it's not. It's their material. I can't do anything with their material. It's not trash. According to the letter, it says it should be removed. The debris should be removed. It's not trash. It's usable material. So we will have to discuss it with them on when they want to remove it.
and
And if, when and if. I just don't feel that we should have a timeline to remove it. It's not hurting anything. We already had it granted to store these blades out there, why not just leave it like it was? I was gonna leave it like it was till we got a letter.
Right.
You know, that's why we canceled it from the agenda last time. Is, you know what, just leave it like it is. And we're not gonna worry about it. When they move everything, we'll clean off the lot, we'll get it all cleaned back off. If we decide to do anything else on that lot, then we'll approach that at that time.
Is it under a kind of an understanding that what is there is going to be all that's going to be there for now? They're not bringing any more in?
That's correct.
Okay.
And there is an open communication line Jared wrote to all of y'all. And I believe, thank you, Michael, you did reach out to him personally. I don't know if anybody else did. Commissioner Wade did. I have talked to him, you know, regarding this, and I appreciate that communication. Communication lines are open. And Cody, the other principal and destructible, he didn't come before the commission because we had asked that it be taken off the agenda. But he did come to planning and zoning, and he spoke.
And just a discussion topic, in all fairness, Bill, you may have to remind me, but she said we discussed it at the meeting. We didn't discuss it, did we? It was just closed. I mean, we didn't.
Can you repeat the question real quick?
I think she indicated that we discussed it at the last meeting, and there wasn't really a discussion.
Well, yeah, we actually had, they sent out a letter the day before, I believe. That's when I think we received it from your son, that said, never mind, we're just going to pull out, we're going to quit doing this. But yes, you did have a public hearing, went ahead and heard it and denied that special use permit. And then the day after is when Lewis sent out a letter saying that he was the one who opened up the ability to store the blades there. And he said because he's the one that said you can store those blades there, he was the one that needed to say you cannot store those blades there now. And so he sent out a letter to that effect. Is that pretty close?
So why is that fair to us? That, you know, we've got $3 million worth of blades sitting on the property out there. Why is it fair to us to say you've got 30 days to get that off of your property, or you're gonna, or we're gonna file against you, or you're gonna face court action? That's not fair, man.
But the thing that came up at the meeting, I think that the reason they wanted to go ahead and hear that is because they had told you twice to stop grinding them, and they continued.
And I can address that, if we want to address that, I can address that.
Well, the public hearing's already been, I mean, it's certainly up to you guys, but I mean, the public hearing's already been done, so the question is about storing blades there.
Exactly,
So
and
just
I
wanna-
can address that on the stop work order.
And just a point of
But-
clarification, Mr. Helms does work for the county, but he's not representing the county at this
Absolutely
particular
not.
moment.
This is all
This
personal.
totally,
Absolutely.
thank you.
Thank you.
He does well with the county, by the way.
Huh?
He does a good job.
Thank you.
I try.
I'm just kind of hung up on discussion. There was no action taken, so there wasn't really a discussion. I mean, I
Well,
don't get that.
but the only people that were here was the people that were opposed. The only people that were here we had no chance to speak up. We had no chance to, we took it off the agenda.
You're right, that did happen.
So the only people that were here were the 17 people or whatever that were opposed. It was written in the newspaper. The newspaper article, which I have right here, is totally biased on one side because that's the only side they've heard.
Right.
They've never heard our side.
No, you're right.
I
That
decided
did
to stay out of this because I do work for the county. I've tried to stay out of this. I tried and tried and tried. But you know what? When they're facing legal action, they're 77 years old. They don't need to face legal action. Oh, 76. They don't need to face legal action.
Now you made her mad.
That's a bunch of garbage to me. To me, that was a personal threat to them on, you're gonna face legal action if you don't get all this debris off of this material off of this property. Well,
When most of it, I'm gonna say 99% of it had already been removed. I mean, because whenever it came up, Destructible immediately took action. I mean, they had equipment, well, they already had equipment there. They started moving it within a day or so,
they started trucking it.
trucking it out of there. So it wasn't that all of it was left and we were lingering and, they had other things to do. They had bigger fish to fry than this fight.
They're really not worried about what's laying on the ground out here, I promise. They're worried about 113 windmills in Midland, Texas, that's gonna pay them to do it. Chaves County has already said, City of Roswell's already said, they don't want them here. Great, that's okay. They dealt with that.
Mr. and Mrs. Elm, thank you.
Excuse me, the original special use permit was for storage, not for grinding. Is
The
that
original-
correct, Louis?
Well,
The original, Lewis came to me and told me that we need to add storage of the windmill blades to that property for a special use. What are they going to be doing out there? They are going to be storing, and they are going to be cutting the blades in order to transport. It's exactly what they were doing.
Right.
Now then, they did go through with a grinder, and it
Right.
went through just like a rock crusher, you put rock in it and it crushes it.
Right.
Is there,
And the grinding is
when
what the neighbors and also what Louis
What-
was talking about.
What they're
You
talking
started
about is
grinding
the
those
finer
instead
particles
of just cutting them up and
of what they're
storing them.
talking about added to 80-mile-an-hour wind blowing directly to the west is
Because they
going
were
to
ground
stir
up, the
up
piles of the ground up. Right,
the material.
which
It's gonna
was
stir
not
it up.
on the special use.
Fiberglass
permit.
is not hazardous at all to your health, 100%. Got the documentation right here, okay? It's not like asbestos at all, okay? Your body, it's an allergy. It's an irritant.
But what I'm saying is your original special use was just to store, not to grind, not to,
Store it, and he named it a store, but he knew we were gonna cut.
cut or
pieces.
grind,
Huh?
no,
grind them.
Not grind,
the
cut.
grinding comes from the cutting. They weren't
But you were
actually-
also grinding them, you had the
They're-
guy
they're-
on the
they're not- they're
property
not really
grinding
being
up and
ground.
putting
They're-
them in piles.
They're being cut. They go through a crusher. It's like a rock crusher. It's
Right.
not a grinder. It's a rock crusher. It goes through and it just chops it up into smaller pieces.
To store those piles on your property.
No, to haul them to the recycle center in Idaho or Iowa or wherever they have them.
So you want to go back to the original where you're just storing the blades and that's
As
it?
of right now, yes, I want this, I want this letter to show that we are allowed to leave what's there and let us operate and let us lease the property like we intended to until they get the stuff off of there. It's all material. It's their material.
And bring more blades on there.
Absolutely not. That's not our goal right now. Our goal is not to bring in more blades. But if we do bring in more blades, what does it hurt?
Well, you've got neighbors that have said the
Okay,
fibers
all right.
and.
So we'll get into that. This here is an industrial site. Okay? I have neighbors that live in an industrial site that oppose this. Well, that's not fair to me. This is an industrial site. They're the ones that chose to live in an industrial site. I'm the one that chose to do business in an industrial site. That's not fair to me.
okay. Thank you for your comments. And I would like to say that since we've had your comments, if there are people in the audience that like to speak for or against this at this time, please come forward and with your name and your address.
Thank
They're against.
Good morning. My name is Carolina Mendez, and my husband, Blas Mendez, and I own Rudy's Towing. We do live right next to our business.
Would you
We've
give
been
us
there.
your address, please?
6221 Devonian is Rudy's address, and then ours is 6219 Devonian, and we live on heavy industrial land. We purchased that land knowing that we had a towing business. That's what we originally started. We ended up there on 7 acres with completely nothing but dust. We know what dust is and dirt is. We started our home there. In 2021, in 2001, we brought in a double wide mobile home. And that's where we have resided for the last 24 years. We understand what dirt and dust and everything like that is, because we've lived it every day. We chose that. We chose to be near our business because we knew we were going to take it seriously. And we were not going to just have a business and somebody going to run it. We ran it ourselves. We got 3 generations there now. We have us, Rudy, which is the owner, our son Nick Mendez, and we have Christopher Mendez. And they're both drivers. And they know what it is to work every day there. And they chose to work there. My grandson was a NIMI graduate. He went off to Socorro to be an engineer. During 2020, when we had COVID, he came home. He started working for us. We know well about our business. He chose to do that. So there are choices. We can move. Would they buy our property, which is heavy industrial? 24 years of our lives there that we've built. We planted trees. We got a home. We got our yard in the backyard that doesn't look like a junkyard. It looks like an oasis to us. We got tall trees of pecans. We got green grass in our backyard. We got a patio in our backyard, and that's what we live with. But when we walk outside those gates to go to our yard, to go next door to work every day, then we see everything around us, and we know what's everything around us is. We got the Helms on one side, we had Charlie Noriega on the other side, and we were in the middle. And we complied. We were the ones that complied with every rule, every regulation, the county, the city, and the state. And we knew what it was about. We spent our whole lives there. So we know what it is to make choices. I didn't grow up as a little girl thinking I was going to live in a junkyard. That was not my dream. But that's who I'm married to. And it's his dream, and now it became my dream. I didn't grow up thinking, oh, when I grow up, I want to marry a man that wants to have a junkyard and do towing. I didn't think about that. But this is a man that I love, and this is a home that I love. I feel threatened. I felt threatened every time these people, the Helms, had rented or leased their property, and they leased it to somebody that was going to come and destroy my environment, my home, my safe place, my peace. They did that to us. And every time that we see their name, that we have to be here.
Mr. Chairman, can you speak just about whether you're for or against the storage of the windmill blades
Yes.
on the neighbor's property? The rest of this, I mean, it's great, but I mean, we want to get to the.
I'm sorry about that.
That's all right, thank you.
I'm just passionate because this is my home.
Yeah.
This is my home. This is our livelihood. And I oppose it because of that reason, because it's my home. Bottom line, I live there, I breathe there, I work there, and I oppose it. And right now, there are still, it's not debris, it's not things that are covered, there's still stuff out there, and you could see. It was covered at one time maybe, but right now it's not covered anymore. So there's still things flying around. So I don't know if Mrs. Helms has been out there, but Rudy was out there this morning, not on their property, but on our property, and we can see through the gate, through the fence. And he has a video of it, if you'd like to know what's on there right now.
Thank you. I appreciate your comment. Anyone else that'd like to speak on this subject?
I'm Rudy Mendez. That's why I go by for 27 years that we own that business. I took a video of that place. Has not been touched or cleaned up. They did cover about 30 tons of grind. They grind that. They make you look like, I wish one of you guys, if you guys decided, would have went and looked at to what we went through. My carport, my patio is still full of fiberglass. My barbecue grill is still full of fiberglass. My windows are full of fiberglass. And there's still stuff flying, and they never had no intentions. They never cleaned anything in there. I show you on right now this morning through my book, through where my cow is. I can show you, and you can look at it. Okay, they didn't remove anything. They were told to stop. They operated without a license. They didn't have a permit. They didn't seek anything, and they didn't probably pay anything in taxes. And now he's giving permission to those that are destructible to do all that, to grind and cut up everything, and there's still pieces cut up in there. Even when they cut them, there's a big old giant blade with a machine. They cut them big, and then they throw them on the converter, and they grind them, and it's like snowflakes everywhere. You can still see them in my patio. I'll take you out there if you want to see it. But they deny, and Mrs. Helens probably doesn't know nothing about it, but he's the one in charge of everything. Shannon Helms, your inspector here. He's the one in charge of everything. He's the one giving permission. He's the one that should remove all that from now, because he's voiding everything, every order in the world.
Mr. Chairman, Commissioners, Mr. Helms does not provide the, he's not the one that gives the permission. I just want to clarify that. The zoning department gives the, they're the ones that regulate. Mr. Helms only works in that department, but he does not specifically have anything to do with the permitting of that. I just want to clarify that real quick.
Yeah, it might be so, but he's the one, because he told me he was getting great money for that.
Yeah.
He doesn't care about our health. He hasn't cared about any laws. Anything that he's been told to do, he has not done it. I want you to see this video if you would. This morning, very early in the morning, when I go feed my cow, there it is. All the stuff's the same way. Everything's the same way there was when you guys told them to clean up and take it. You could see it. You could see it, right? If you open it, you could see everything in there. They still have about 30, 40 tons there, grinding in there, covered with the plastic. It's already been cut up. You know what he wants to do? He wants to make a landfill on there. That's what he wants to do now. That's what it's going to look like.
Thank you.
Mr. Chairman, Commissioners, I want to relay a message that I just got from Stan. As I say, he's unable to attend today, but he's watching online. He's suggested that if it meets your approval, that the Helms put in to modify their zoning, and that will go through the P&Z Commission. It'll all be a public hearing. It goes through the usual process that anything else would that had a special use. So if you guys would like to do that, we can do that, or however you see fit. I mean, we're just talking the storage of the blades, but I just wanted to pass that along. Thank you.
Commissioners, what is your choice on this? We could send this back to the planning zoning, or we can vote on this today. Do you have any comments?
We're voting on whether or not they can store those for an undetermined amount of time. That's what we're voting on.
That's correct, yeah. And that,
You're backing up Lewis. Lewis asked them to remove those from it, can't bring anything else in. You need to get the other ones out. And that's what the question is. They're appealing Lewis's letter that said you need to get that stuff cleaned up and don't bring anything else in. Correct, Lewis? Except that you said there would be legal.
The
but it-
normal language that we use in planning and zoning request and action is that we inform them that the next step would be legal action, which is a citation and then due process.
So that's the part.
And the current timeframe,
The timeframe that was stated is a negotiable timeframe, but we always start at the lowest. And then we normally negotiate with the applicant or the homeowner in a way that satisfies us as a county and them as individuals.
what's the time,
We gave them 30 days.
and that ends when?
30 days.
When is the 30 days up from when?
Probably right about now.
August 30th. The letter
Expiration
was
date is August
sent out
30th.
on July 30th.
is it possible that we could extend this timeline to get
Chairman.
rid of everything but no future storage? Because if they bring them in and they're storing them and cutting them, then we have this pollution problem.
Chairman, Commissioners, yes, you have every right to amend the specific use as stated in Article 13. It being that the Board of Commissioners are subject to any conditions and restrictions as they may impose. So you may impose any restrictions and specifications as you wish to my administrative specific use, adding that term, windmill blade storage.
And Mr. Chairman, just to keep it clear, because I think that's what happened last time as we got cloudy, and I feel like we're getting cloudy again. You stated they can't bring in for storage or grinding, but we're only talking about storage. We've already said that they withdrew their request to grind them. They have no intention of grinding, so we're only talking about storage of blades and the removal of the ones that are already in place. So I hope that that's helpful.
Chairman, Commissioners, what Stan is referring to is this is a item that should just come before you in a public hearing so that we send out notices to those owners within 600 feet, and you hear from those owners, surrounding owners on this kind of use, that it be heard at a public hearing. That it's reached this point now, you should consider that.
That's your recommendation?
Yes. And I believe that's what Stan's saying as well, is that.
Louis, what is your recommendation at this time?
So I agree with legal counseling in that this item should be brought forth before the P&Z Commission for recommendation and the Board of Commissioners for final action of a specific use for storage of windmill blades.
And what does that do to your clock of August 30th?
It terminates all of that. Your action here terminates any timeline that is set forth, unless you deny their appeal totally, then the time is still running out.
If we deny the appeal, then they just have to remove everything and there's no more storage there and no cutting of these blades, because obviously if the big blades are brought in to be stored, they're being cut into smaller pieces, is that correct? And that's where we're still getting a pollution hazard.
But it's not a pollution hazard. It's not by OSHA standards, not by EPA, and none of this is regulated as a pollution hazard.
We could proceed with a motion on this.
Mr. Chairman, you could table this, subject to a public hearing through the Planning and Zoning Committee. I believe that that's probably the best course of action. If they want to change the zoning, they need to go through the regular planning and zoning process. So you would table this current article, this current agenda item, and then move forward as the regular time progresses with the public hearing. And the notification, all that stuff would come back into play. That would be our recommendation as county staff.
May I say one more thing? I'm sorry, maybe one more. Excuse me. Because what we were appealing is that the letter was to inform us that he, Louis, Mr. Armijo, was terminating the recently added specific use storage of recyclable wind turbine blades and equipment. Why would we need to come back, and reapply for that when it's already been granted? Now he wants to take it away. And yet-
Mr. Chairman,
and yet now
Ms.
he wants
Helms,
to-
as he stated, he's the one who gave that to you, and because of the way it's written, he's the one that withdrew it. And so that's what your appeal is. Louis said we could do it, now Louis said we can't do it.
Right.
And you say, well, why not? So if you would like to go to a higher standard, a higher level, I think the only way that we can do that is through the regular P&Z channel, where you would request that use from the P&Z Commission and ultimately the Board of Commissioners to do that. That overrules him. So to me, that's the answer to your appeal. You're appealing it. Either they say, no, we're sticking with Louis and what he said goes, or they're willing to hear it on a higher level.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you.
Mr. Chairman, I would like to move that we do send it back per recommendation of legal staff to go back to planning and zoning.
So your motion is to table this item?
Table this item and let them go through the process of planning and zoning
Thank you.
per legal recommendation.
Thank you.
I'll second that.
Okay, we have a motion by Commissioner Dana, and second by Commissioner Perry. We have any further discussion?
So let me get this straight.
So this question is kicked down the road. It's going to be heard by two
So,
others, yeah.
We're kicking it down the road, but we're still storing, so.
Yeah, nothing's happening until such time as the
So then
planning
you
and
have to have
zoning.
an amendment to the storage part of it for,
No, it
six-
just, they're not bringing anything else in. They've already said
Already
that.
established
So
that,
all
but
this
the
is
timeframe
just
is-
saying the time frame to clean up what's left, because they've already established they won't bring anything else in. And so they will essentially be asking for time, I guess, to clean up whatever.
Chairman, Commissioners, in the 30 days that is stated in the letter becomes null and void until further action is granted by you and the P and Z Commission.
Louis,
So-
in the interim, if this goes back to P and Z,
They'll have to,
no more blades can be brought in, is that correct?
Chairman, Commissioners, that is on you to make that statement.
No blades could be brought in and nothing can be cut out there.
I would hope, Chairman and Commissioners, you put that in part of your motion. That
I
statement.
would like to amend my motion. No further action on the property as far as blades coming in or cutting until this matter is brought up by planning and zoning.
Second.
Okay, so
Okay,
Removal?
go ahead.
Removal at any time? We're gonna stir it up to remove it. If we get trucks in there to remove it, we're gonna. So you want me to leave it just like it is, so I can't do anything with it?
Mr. Chairman, Commissioners, certainly you can remove it. That's what the whole
Right.
question is,
Right.
is, you know, are we going to have to force you to move it, which is what Lewis was trying to do? I mean, just
Right.
bottom line, Lewis was trying to force you to remove those things
Right.
at the discretion of the public. The public was outraged, wanted them gone. They quit grinding them. You guys withdrew that portion. Lewis, right or wrong, said, get them out of there or we're going to hold you accountable. So currently, the question before the commission is to table this appeal pending the outcome of a planning and zoning. Certainly, along with the fact that you won't bring anything else in, you won't do any additional grinding, but certainly if you were to clean up the thing, if I can speak for the commission, that's
Yes.
Yes, you
acceptable.
could
Yeah.
clean up things.
Yeah, clean it up.
So we
Right.
do have a motion and a second,
Right.
Mr. Chairman.
Any further discussion? All in favor of the motion signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Okay.
Aye. Any opposed? Motion passes.
Thank you.
Okay. Do we have a motion to approve checks?
Mr. Chairman, I move that we approve checks.
Do we have a second?
second.
Would you
I love this.
I'll second
put
that
the
motion.
amount in there, please?
In the amount of $6,172,383, $6,172,383.40.
Okay.
Second, if that's not the second.
That's, okay, Cliff, you made the motion?
She made the
or-
I
motion.
made the motion, but
Okay.
he seconded and read the,
I
Okay,
clarified
and-
the amount.
And you
yes.
second? Okay. All right. Motion made by
No.
Commissioner Dana and second by Commissioner Wade to
Good teamwork.
approve checks. All in favor signify by saying aye.
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 All right.
Approval of reports?
Mr. Chairman, I move we approve reports.
I second.
We have a motion by Commissioner Dana, second by Commissioner Wade to approve all reports. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion passes 5-0. Okay, unscheduled communications limited to 3 minutes.
Ms. Rita.
Yes, Rita. Oop.
We'll get Rita next.
Okay, you go ahead first, Mike. Sure.
Rita, you are outdrawn by the sheriff on that one. Sorry.
You did not just do that.
So, so let me just tell you, and this is speaking to you on behalf as the sheriff. I'm Mike Harrington, #1 St. Mary's Place. So at the Sheriff's Association meeting that I just attended in Ruidoso, I put out a request to the 33 counties to send me deputies during the Roswell Air Show. And the reason for that is because if you guys watch Netflix and you watch the so-called invasion of Area 51 and you've seen the sheriff on there say, it's just me and 3 deputies and all these people are going to be here, what are we going to do? And that's where I'm at right now. So we're going to have 5 guys with the sheriff's office. The PD may have as many as 10, counting theirs, and then the state police is bringing in 18 extra for possibly, more than possibly, over 100,000 extra people here. And so I made a request to the 33 counties, and they have made a commitment to me that they would send, some counties only have a couple people, they're gonna send me as many as they can. Taos is saying they're gonna send me 10. Other counties are talking at least 2 or 3 per county. So we're hoping to have quite a few extra deputies here. This is not to work the Roswell air races. This is to make sure that Chaves County residents are taken care of, calls coming through. We do have people going to other counties to stay the night. So you have Hobbs, Carlsbad, Ruidoso, Alamogordo, Portales, Clovis. All these hotels are taking people in because we just don't have the space here. So what we know is not only are you going to have increased traffic on the roadways, but as they leave these places, there could have also be alcohol consumption. We may have other things that may happen. So we are expecting, as the sheriff, you know, one thing that we know is when you have more vehicles on the roadway, the chances of crashes happen. And so I'm going to need people to help me with crashes. We're going to need just whatever. But my goal is to make sure that the citizens of Chaves County go without interruption in protection from the Chaves County Sheriff's Office or assistance in any way. So I have put that out there. So if you see sheriff vehicles from all over the state, that's what they're here for. And it's important to me to make sure that we do have adequate law enforcement during this time.
Mr. Chairman, can I ask the sheriff a question? Yes, sure. So if I'm driving into town, because I'm going to try my best to avoid town during this particular time, and a sheriff's deputy from Taos pulls up behind me and turns on the lights, what am I supposed to do?
You will pull over because he will be commissioned by me.
Okay.
So he will now have.
And is there any way to verify that because I mean, people are going to be really unsure of what to do in that situation. Should they call? Should they?
Yeah, so no, they just do like you would normally do. During this time frame, we will have them here as commissioned. They will be sworn in by me as Chaves County Sheriff deputies to do this extra work for us. They will have all authority under me to make arrests. They will be able to do everything that my deputies can do, and the reason for that is we're just gonna be spread out so thin during this thing. And once again, we just don't know. That's the scariest part about this whole thing to me as to the sheriff. We just don't know what to expect. But that's why I'm coming forward in this meeting, and I'm also putting it on the radio. We're putting it out there. Hopefully it'll be in the newspaper and some other things that during this time you will see agencies, sheriff offices from other counties here during those days under my authority to do that, so.
Mr. Chairman, this brings me up. Are we going to need MOUs with all these other counties or payment?
Nope.
I mean, are we going to have
Nope.
to pay?
No payments.
Okay,
They are doing this because we do this for them.
okay.
When we have issues like in Ruidoso during the flooding, we do send Chaves County Sheriff deputies down there. We've done it for Portales and Clovis and other places, Hobbs. It don't matter. We all come together as one because there's only a few of us, so we don't have issues with that. We will have them staying in certain places like at deputies' houses, families. A lot of the deputies from other counties actually have family here. So they're going to be able to stay with them. The hotels, we've already checked around, everybody's booked. So we're making arrangements for all that stuff. I just wanted to bring that to your attention to let you know that, one, my thanks to every one of the counties for stepping up and helping me. But I made a plea, and it's just because we just don't know. We just don't know, but we got to make sure the people that are visiting as well as the citizens and residents of Chaves County are safe. So that's what we're going to do.
Thank you, Sheriff, for thinking ahead,
Yes.
because that's what it takes.
Yep.
Appreciate it.
Thank you guys very much. Okay, Rita's up.
Ready to go.
Rita, just let
Go
somebody.
get her. Go get her. She left.
You outlasted
You
her.
took too much time. No, just kidding.
Anyone else like to speak for 3 minutes?
Just FYI.
Cubbies are doing good.
Just make sure so you know.
Thank you.
This is I'm happy, Luis Jaramillo, Planning Director, number 1 St. Mary's Place. Real quick, we have completed our cleanup of the Noriega site. We are done. We have, well, we're collecting our invoices, and those are just photos to show you that it has been cleared off. Also, second matter is you did receive an email from me stating that Dale Rogers has resigned from the Planning and Zoning Commission after 43 years of service for Chaves County. 1 year shy of the ordinance itself, which is amazing.
Wow.
So,
Goodness.
thank you, Mr. Rogers. We hope to have something for him soon. So that's all I have. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Louis. Anyone else that'd like to speak? Okay, county managers' communications.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman, Commissioners. First of all, what an honor to get a surprise plaque from the Hagerman FFA. I'm an honorary member of the Hagerman FFA for 2025, but I'm an actual member of the Hagerman FFA from, Cliff may have to help me, both of it. It takes both of us to remember anything. I believe from 1976 to 1980 would be somewhere close. So 75, I guess, probably, 75 to 80. So it's nice to go home. Really appreciated that. It was a real pleasant surprise. Chaves County is working on updating their Chaves County Comprehensive Land Use Plan. We're putting together our steering committee to do that. We just want to be sure that we emphasize anything that needs to be emphasized and make clearer anything that's too vague in that deal. And along with that will be, there's nothing in our current land use plan because this happened 10 years ago, before solar was much of a thing, before wind was much of a thing, before data centers were much of a thing, battery storage, none of that was heard of at the time. And so we certainly will address that. The county future land use plan probably won't change a whole lot because not a whole lot has changed on that portion of it. Some minor changes to the zoning portion, but more of it has to do with private property rights, our expectations from the federal government when it comes to multiple use of public lands, those kind of things, which we all support and have fought for in Washington, as you guys are going to be doing at the PILT fly-in, payment in lieu of taxes. We need to be assured that we get those funds from the federal government as they're required to do, and certainly the time that you will spend at Capitol Hill assuring that all the senators and representatives understand that process is time well spent. And it'll be Commissioner Corn's first trip as a county commissioner to DC, and so we're hoping he comes back. He may like it so well, he just wants to stay there. I have a quick request for the sheriff. Please, when you do your training and all that of the people coming in, request that any additional law enforcement people provide some extra measure of understanding. They're going to be pulling people over, whether it's in the newspaper, on the radio, or whatever, that aren't going to understand what's going on. So ask them to be extra patient with people. And I'm sure you already have figured out that they will, when they pull someone over, they'll tell them, the reason you're being pulled over by someone from Taos is because we're having this, but I still need your license and registration, whatever the proper way is. But I just ask that they have a little extra measure, and that they understand that there will be people like me that are totally lost and not necessarily being combative, but want to know why I'm being pulled over by somebody else. So anything you could do to help with that, as you know. I mean, you guys are the law enforcement professionals. You guys know how to deal with dummies like me. So
And most of them won't know what county they're in. So they won't know. So-
Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Commissioner Dana.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Just want to thank our staff once again. Thank you to Road Department. I know you guys are working on some of the flooding still and all that, so appreciate that. I did attend our last New Mexico Counties Board meeting in Farmington earlier this month, and we did go over some of our legislative priorities. So once we get those firmed up, they will be sending those out to county managers to put those on as our priorities as well, a resolution. Just going over House Bill 2 appropriations, detention fund, reimbursement fund, we're still working on that. Always courthouse funding, that's been a priority for many years. Detention recruitment fund, they're going to still work on that too. Fire and EMS recruitment fund. The 700 megahertz radios, they're still working on funding for that. So there's quite a few. IPRA, they did not get the IPRA passed last year. They thought that one was going to be an easy one because of Municipal League kind of took that up with us, but for some reason that didn't go through. So there'll be quite a few priorities coming down the pike from New Mexico County, so we'll be working on that as well. But just want to say, thank you to everybody. We really have a great county, listening to all 33 counties. They've all have their issues. I know we listened to the wolf issues over on western part of the state. The veterans exemption, they're still trying to come up with, the state's still trying to come up with how do we do that, since that amendment passed, the timeline and all that with the assessors. So county clerks still working on trying to get a lot of that stuff going for our next elections and school board elections, things like that. So lots of interesting things, but 33 counties, Chaves County is still the best. So thank you very much to everybody. We really appreciate everything that everybody does for this county. You guys are great. Appreciate it. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Commissioner Wade.
I also would like to thank everybody. And Brian and I had a little tour of some of the erosion that was done on our flood control structures. Basically, my understanding is you have repaired those that were completely in need, but those that still remain, we have erosion on those, but they're sound structures, and we still are protected, is my understanding. So it's good to have that. Hopefully we will see some results soon on getting those repaired. And as the days go on, you're repairing other areas, and we thank you for that. And yesterday, we received the list of roads to be resurfaced in the valley, and I guess a couple of them are already done, so over 50% of the list the miles are done. So, thank you for that, and y'all, appreciate y'all. Thank you.
Commissioner Corn.
I'm up. You know, today we made some decisions on several things here. Bill, we need to work on some of the land use deals. You know, we kind of went further than what we probably should have today on a particular issue. We still got some work to do on it. I don't know. I got hung up on some of that on the one issue, and I voted yay, and I probably should have said nay. But we all decide on our own. This flag right here, everybody needs to put their John Henry on this flag for the retirement of the flag. Some of Brian's stuff, I sent him some videos of the project that was done out north of town, out by my house, and some of the flood water going through. It wasn't much flood water, but it was enough to see that there is possibly potential of some problems. Brian can probably address some of that. You know, other than that, I mean, everybody's done a good job, and we need to keep fighting forward. So, thanks.
Commissioner Perry.
Thanks the county people for all of the great presentations. You know, today was a little bit different. It's nice to see different business ideas and different business thoughts brought into our county. You know, this county hasn't, the county's grown, but the city hasn't grown a whole lot over the last 40 years. We're still clicking under 50,000, and it's nice to bring in new business ideas. At least they're different, so maybe we can get a little better economic model, a new economic model. So it's very nice. The other thing I'd like to bring up is I went to Lincoln County last week and looked at some of the fire destruction, and I just, you know, I guess Christy Nome was there last couple of days, and they got another $11 million on top of our House Bill 2, I guess was $1 million, wasn't it? And you know, that's a lot of money for that is being spent on recovery efforts on probably a wasteful use of the forest. It could have been a little better. We really need to take care of our land, and that's why you guys got a lot of the questions today, is because we just went through some bad stuff. So everybody's a little up in arms about the landscapes and the land models that we're using. And if it didn't matter, you know, you look back here at the flood control folks, the Hondo Canal's been running for 3 months now probably, where it wasn't running for the last 6 years like it is now. And that's all due to some of that management of our forest. It's obviously to our west and not in our county, but very important to us because that's bringing water, that brings agriculture, it brings livelihood, it recharges our aquifers. It's what these two guys need to make a living. So it is important to all of us, even though it's not right here. So I appreciate everybody thinking about all the new aspects that are bringing in stuff to Chaves County, and I'd encourage more people to do that. Sometimes it's a different mindset, but we all need to come together and think about how we're going to make it work. Appreciate you.
Thank you. I'd like to begin by thanking all our staff. We have a wonderful staff that does a great job here at this county. The big thing coming up, obviously, is our air races. And I think it's going to be a fantastic opportunity to showcase our community, our city, our county, and the whole area. And I'd just like to encourage everyone, greet the visitors in a positive way. Let's show that we're a very welcoming community and that we want them here, and let's show all respect. And it's going to be obviously a learning curve this first year. I'm sure there'll be a lot of mistakes or problems, but I've talked to some of the air show people and they feel like it's a learning curve, but they have done a great job in getting the organization going. And of course, improvements will be made during the coming year for the future. But welcome everybody that comes in for this opportunity to see this air show. And that's all I have. With that, we'll be adjourned, signed for signatures.
And please, everyone sign the flag. Do you have the red pins?
Do we have,
Yeah.
yeah, we need a pen out there.
Okay. Yeah, we need to get the red markers.
Yeah, so it's the same as the others.
Just signed it.
So we're adjourned.
Good for